Good morning. My name is John Phillips. It's my pleasure today to be with Rashaud Fields' family. You'll have an opportunity after the press conference to ask any questions. Obviously, it's yet another emotional day for this family. For too long, Jacksonville has had a crime problem, and particularly a murder problem. May 23, 2022 was Rashaud's last day of school. It was graduation day. Supposed to be one of the best days of a not just a young person's life, but anybody's life. I remember my graduation day. And he was convinced to go to a party and didn't even make it to the party. He was gunned down a couple of blocks away from where this party was. Obviously, school is starting back. We wanted to take this opportunity to say, with school starting back, people are going to be talking. There's going to be more information. And so CrimeStoppers has offered $3,000 for any tips that lead to an arrest. Some people don't understand how CrimeStoppers work. So CrimeStoppers, you can make an anonymous tip. There's code numbers. And so you can make an anonymous tip. If that tip leads to an arrest, you can claim $3,000. In addition, my firm is contributing $10,000 for any tips that lead to either a conviction or a plea bargain to make sure that this killer stays behind bars. Listen, this is not just a loss to the Fields family. This is a killer that is out on the streets. This is a killer that JSO has indicated may not have even intended to kill Rashaud Fields. And so this is a killer that is potentially going to kill again, and we know from the statistics in Jacksonville likely will kill again. And so while you're at school, while you're talking, while you're parenting, do more. Look through. Ms. Fields told me last Friday about how often she'd, when Rashaud was asleep, how she'd use his fingerprint or hold the phone up to his face to go through his phone. That's what good mamas are supposed to do. And we're relying on a community that's fractured. And while we have a sheriff's debate out there, we talk about community policing. Community policing needs to start within the members of the community. Certainly, a sheriff can help implement what law enforcement can do, but community policing needs to start with people upholding not the law, but what's right. What's right. So a tip can come from anywhere. When we started this firm, one of my first cases was Jordan Davis, and everybody knows, ultimately Michael Dunn was convicted for Jordan Davis's murder. But what people don't realize is Michael Dunn fled. He went back to the hotel and had pizza. It was a person that was living in his car that wrote down on a bag Michael Dunn's tag number, which led to police finding Michael Dunn. When we went to the scene, people ran inside. They didn't want to talk. We tried to get videos, and all of a sudden the videos didn't work. We know JSO has had more success than we've had. They have 4 detectives we've met with, and the family has met with. So we know they're processing evidence through FTLE. We know they're on the hunt for this killer and his associates. I believe they know who it is. But we need more tips for this homicide, for this murder, and for other murders in this town, because if we're not going to police ourselves, we can't necessarily expect a sheriff to be able to do it. So I know Stanley had some words. Okay. Ms. Fields?
Well, this is a sad moment for me and my family. I do have a good supportive family. I'm back on here again to seek justice for Rashaud. I had a bright son. It had a bright future. he want to be in the NFL one day. All I ask is, you all know something to say something. I'm pleading and I'm begging for someone to come forward. I have sleepless nights about Rashaud. I'm quite sure you all have watched me on Facebook and everything. I just beg you all, if you know something, to please, I'm begging you all to say something.
Mr. Fields, do you have anything?
So I want to echo the sentiments of my aunt that if you know something, say something. And I'm asking you to put yourself as a parent. He had a brother, as a sibling, as a father, as a cousin, whatever your family means to you, to put yourself in this seat. And what would you want someone to do if you see something, to say something? And we want you all to know that this will not go away. We will do this if we have to do this the rest of our lives until we find the killer. But if you know something and you see something, say something.
Thank you. Anybody else? JSO's number 630-0500. CrimeStoppers is 1-866-845-TIPS. Those are two fabulous resources. We're working with law enforcement. Certainly, there's about 50 different ways you can reach out to me, from Facebook to Twitter to our number, which is all fours. Just there's too many crimes in this beautiful town of Jacksonville, and we need your help to start policing the community and solving these crimes. Thank you. Yes.
Can you talk to us a little bit more about how police are handling this case? What have they been doing? Are they looking for suspects? Are they communicating with the family?
They are communicating with family. Last Friday, or Friday before last, we met with 4 detectives. It's not my job to explain and ruin their tips, right? But they've provided significant information about their investigations. This is one that I've done this for 20 years, and I don't know that I've had 4 homicide investigators in a family home, there to piece this case together and potentially other cases. And there's information that's been sent to FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, who does the fingerprint research and DNA research and blood analysis. And so they're hot on the trails of the killer. But look, there's in 2022, the crazy thing is there's people that get on rap videos and falsely take credit. There's people that get on social media and act like they know something when they don't. Don't get me wrong, we want all those tips. We want JSO to vet every single possible tip. We want people to report every single possible tip. That's why CrimeStoppers exists. But sometimes people need a financial incentive, and we've got 13,000 of them, on the table, with more possibly to come, because every one of these lost lives matter. But this is, Rashaud Fields was headed on a scholarship, was just I look at his photo and I think of my sons and hope they can get to where Rashaud was headed. And nobody's going to get a chance to do that, particularly in the African American community, if we don't have more support and help from within the community.
Earlier you mentioned that you thought the JSO knew of the killer. Can you expand on that?
I'll let JSO reveal what they want to reveal when they're ready to reveal it. But from our meeting with them, they have strong leads. Obviously, police can't hand something over to a prosecutor, and a prosecutor can't file unless they're fully ready. And so they're obtaining further evidence from FDLE. But even if they arrest somebody, this doesn't stop because they've got to be convicted. And even if they're convicted, this isn't I don't believe they would even say this is a sole gunman. There was somebody one person that shot him, but more people knew. And so we want to get Rashaud Fields' case solved, but this is way bigger than Rashaud, and that conversation, gets lost in the broader conversation of do we need community policing? We do, but we've got to start with the community and and the snitch code, and it being somehow something you take pride in to falsely take credit or claim about a murder. That's where we are, and it's harmful in so many ways.
Mr. McAllister, just tell me your relations with the family, and you are the
Nephew.
nephew. Okay. And could you just tell me more about Brett Fisher, that's your son, had more about his aspirations for college, what was going on, the life he was achieving?
Well, the life he was achieving, he always wanted to be a football player since he was 5 years old. He always played football. His father taught him football until he became in junior high at Reebok. He never went to public school. He always went to private school, but he was able to play for the public school due to the fact that his school didn't have academics. So it's not like he knew majority of the kids there. He didn't. He only knew who he played with. So Rashaud was a bright student on the football field. He took his all and he put it on the football field. He made sure that he comforted. Everything he did it. He worked out every day. Rashaud came home. I picked him up from school. I mean, if anybody know me, that when he went the reins for football, even though he didn't go there, I picked him up, dropped him off. When he started going to reins, I picked him up, dropped him off. It was never a time that Rashaud had to walk home. I never let Rashaud walk home. Rashaud was not the type to really go nowhere. Me, my husband, we always made sure Rashaud was with us. If he wasn't with us, he was with family members at all times. We knew where he was at. He'd give us a call. I got texts in my phone right now that he called, Mom, I'm here. Mom, I'm right here.
Can you tell us about the last time you did speak with him?
The last time I spoke with him, he told us, Mom, I'm out to dinner. Rashaud was out to dinner. I talked to him approximately, I got my phone, approximately 8 o'clock. I was talking to Rashaud, he was out to dinner. He said, Mama, I'm finna go to my grandmother's house. He went to my mother's house. Soon later, he got a phone call. I don't know what the phone call was about because I wasn't there. And then he left. Him and my nephews, they left. All I know is I got a phone call through text on Facebook Messenger saying that Rashaud was shot. He never told me that Rashaud was deceased. He just said Rashaud got shot. And that was the last time I seen my child. After he walked that stage at 7 o'clock, he left, and me and my family member was hollering, Rashaud, 53, 53. Then to get a phone call to tell you that your son is dead, it's heartbroken. We live through this every day, this pain, every day. Every day we have to live through this pain. To know that he had a bright future with a 4-year scholarship. He was happy to go to college, and someone snatched his life. They literally snatched his life.
Any other questions?
What was his scholarship?
Through Keiser University football.
Keiser.
He had a Keiser University 4-year scholarship in West Palm Beach, which we will be going down there October the 1st to celebrate the life of Rashaud Fields. That was supposed to be playing October the 1st, his first home game.
Any other questions? Thank you.